The village adults are complacent in their stupidity and content in their oppression. Homoerotic competition. Then I'm sure there's a pretty good reason why you and your evil baby mama don't get along. And I'm positive she ain't the only evil one. And pay for an AI VR girlfriend who makes super sloppy swirly sounds while she virtually sucks you off. And I honestly won't take women seriously until two things. But the village is stupefied, remedial, and damn well
retarded. What you think it's gonna produce?
Or maybe you got an extension clip on that vibrator with 30 different settings. Fleshlight pussies. That is what my remedial black village gave to me. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I rebuke that on Memi Wada, Yemaya, Oshun, Oya. Oh God. No. We need to do fucking better. It is that fucking deep. And you do need to be this fucking woke. Clearing the energy. The gender wars are esoteric. I personally believe that it was the black men in the ancient African and Middle Eastern civilizations that usurped power from the black matriarchs that ruled over the antiqual world. But I'm not ready to have that conversation on the internet yet, so for now, I'll keep it in the present day, white supremacist capitalistic patriarchy. This disdain that we have for our black men has festered inside of us since childhood. I first heard it from my own father, telling me to stay away from these ain't shit niggas for as long as I can. We then have patriarchal experiences with young boys and adult men as we grow up that gravely impact our self-image and image of masculinity. I write about patriarchy so much because it gravely impacted my self-esteem, my self-worth, my understanding of boundaries, my addiction to coercion, and many other things. I played on the travel soccer circuit since second grade and played at my local community college, giving me a first-hand example of the toxicity of white men. And then I grew up in predominantly black public schools, was completely traumatized by black boys who bullied me, assaulted me, and would then later end up fetishizing me. And then I would go home to my lovely, amazing, beautiful black parents who raised me to be an independent woman, but still subjugated me to patriarchal forms of parenting. What patriarchy ensures is that our young boys develop skills of manipulation and coercion. They need those tools to live successfully in a patriarchal society, economically and socially. This process of indoctrination kills their spirit. What patriarchy ensures is that our young girls develop desirability around patriarchal masculinity, abuse, and coercion. It makes us complicit in our abuse as we are coerced into submission. The second-class status of womanhood is ordained by God, a spiritual femicide that makes women believe they deserve to be abused. What patriarchy ensures of non-gender conforming or trans individuals is isolation, a systemic loneliness and outcasting that even liberating justice movements won't touch. These people are hypersexualized, demonized, and dehumanized so that they can be blamed for the corruption of children, while the white supremacist capitalistic patriarchy is the only system that makes our children hypersexual, that exposes them to demonic and evil rituals, and that strips them away from their humanity. And I guess this is a love letter to my inner child. I was branded as fresh and ripe for the picking my freshman year of high school. 18-year-old seniors on the varsity football team, preying on a 14-year-old girl who just so happened to be playing varsity soccer. For every woman watching, I know you know at least 20 predators from your high school as well. That if you saw them in public today, you'd get the motherfucking heebie-jeebies. These are the fucking children y'all are raising. Men, women, non-conforming, and trans alike, all together in a patriarchal community. Sweet, innocent children who could have been born with a blank slate, who could have had an opportunity to become individuals outside of their genitalia's rules. You have turned sweet little innocent black boys into violent, emotionally repressed, abusive, unregulated, traumatized, and victimized people who are pedophilic, manipulative, coercive, violent, and hypersexual. You have turned sweet little innocent black girls into self-depreciating, manipulative, jealous, conniving, emotionally repressed, and unregulated people who are hyper independent while still thinking they are spiritually inferior, tangibly inadequate to lead their own damn lives. I would also like to point out that all of the characteristics that I just described are interchangeable through all demographics and groups of people because we don't hold anybody accountable for abuse. We just leave it up to the law. That's another fucking conversation. And before you say, well, it's single mothers raising our children and now we live in a matriarchy, very respectfully, I say go to hell. And just told Satan all about your evil baby mama and all about the evil baby mamas that you know. All Satan, aka the white man, is going to say is, and who enforces systems on black people that keep them so estranged and distrustful of one another that they cannot lift up their children together as a community? Basic advice I've received from married couples is that it's not you versus your partner. It's you and your partner versus the issue. White supremacy is the issue. Patriarchy is the issue. Patriarchal economies that don't put the earth and her people first are the motherfucking issue. And if you don't believe that or embody what that means in your personal life, then I'm sure there's a pretty good reason why you and your evil baby mama don't get along. And I'm positive she ain't the only evil one. In your defense, I personally think that on average, only about 40 to 45% of women actually want to eradicate patriarchy completely. The other 60 to 55% are perfectly fine with the basic feminist necessities package, which is one, my right to suffrage, my right to my own bank account, my right to my own reproductive organs, and my right to lock a nigga up if he puts his fucking hands on me. Other aspects of patriarchy, we are fine to keep. This is discussed in a book I read recently entitled When Chicken Heads Come Home to Roost. Women are still trying to get the kinks out of our truest desires. We can't help that overly masculine, gun-toting niggas make our pussy wet. Someone insert Lotto.
That pistol get that pussy wet. Now come have sex with me.
And I honestly won't take women seriously until two things. We end Chris Brown's career.
In 2016, Mike G, whom Brown hired to rehab his image in the wake of assaulting Rihanna, sued the embattled musician for viciously attacking him.
Didn't somebody tell you this was an all-white party?
November 2013. Brown is ordered to leave rehab and sentenced to live in anger management.
Lose my lighter.
Why would he want to be grinding on somebody if he ain't attracted to them?
2013. Brown is arrested on felony assault charge and he pleads to a misdemeanor.
I don't see how you can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in. Leg out.
Let me put some money in your back.
And we answered this question correctly. Would you rather your man be bisexual or cheat?
What the cheating or bisexual?
Is he bisexual and cheating or just bisexual?
Cheating like just bisexual. Cheating. Bisexual. Ooh, cheating. Ooh, cheating.
That my man is cheating. That my man is a cheater.
The bisexual.
Probably that he's bisexual.
That he's bisexual.
I'd rather find out that he's bisexual.
I'd rather find out he's cheating.
I'd rather find out he's cheating, I ain't gonna lie.
I would rather find out that he's cheating.
I'd rather find out that he's cheating so I can whoop his I mean, bisexual maybe. I don't with that cheating.
I'm gonna say bisexual because if you've been cheated on, you just know. You know what I'm saying? That feeling in your chest. That is not cool.
I could get over cheating, and I have. I could probably take the cheating a little better.
I can handle the cheating, not bisexual.
I don't think I could handle the second one.
Cheat on me. Don't be gay though.
I mean, I want to know my cheating, but I would rather know if my bisexual because I mean he with on the low.
That's not for me. That's not. I'm not about to put a strap on, and that might not even be your desire, but. I mean, if he's bisexual, I don't care. I ain't nothing wrong with being bisexual, but I don't want my partner to be. If you out here sucking dicks, like, I can't. Where are we going from here?
Probably cheating because I don't want to know that you play with penises.
Like I don't want my to be fucking.
I can't be competing with
bisexual.
Because we can still get busy together.
Feminists, as individuals, have not explored the value of feminine men. Femininity is still only seen as valuable inside of a woman's body, and that's stupid. Men then have to rely on the women in their life to explore and unlock levels of vulnerability within themselves. Men infantilize themselves with their romantic partners and women in general so that they can return to the only time in their lives when they could possibly be emotional. This is why being with a man makes you feel like his mother, his psychiatrist, and his concubine all at once. And if you're lucky enough, this man's infantilization comes paired with good old weaponized incompetence. And a nigga will ask you 30 questions about how to wipe a damn counter. And this is coming from me personally, a woman who's almost exclusively dated and had relations with black men. Love and intimacy from black men can feel manipulative at times. It can feel shallow, fake, coercive, and sometimes very fucking evil. I had a conversation maybe 2 to 3 years ago with a black man my age, saying that he didn't care to know how to actually be a good sexual partner with women who weren't his girlfriend. That when it's a random hoe, that he's just fine using her to get his nut off. And that he is fine masturbating inside of a woman's body. Men can't even fathom the thought of being soft, vulnerable, and considerate in situations that implicitly require those attributes. Instead, they replace these attributes with performances they are groomed to be familiar with. Conquest, homoerotic competition, aggression, and dominance. And the men who don't feel comfortable with these sexual expectations have sexual anxiety, having to take drugs and drink liquor to perform this aggression on women who have also been groomed to find these attributes attractive. No one feels safe, comfortable, or aroused around men who are not performing patriarchal masculinity. And that is a societal issue that we can fix. We always say women aren't choosing the right men, and we victim blame them for staying in relationships with men who obviously need Reiki, a therapist, a journal, and a workout routine instead of a motherfucking girlfriend. But on women's behalf, are these men not worth saving? We grow up with broken boys all around us who experience such traumatic events, and we want to invite them into a warm feminine embrace so that maybe they have a chance to heal. But that is the trick of patriarchy. 1, to have men rely on ciphering feminine energy from other women so that they can feel better about their repressed trauma. And 2, that it is the job of women, because they are females, to be the only source of feminine energy in a man's life. Oh, bashata. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I rebuke that on Memi Wada, Yemaya, Oshun, Oya. Oh, God. No. This starts in childhood because a parent's relationship to parenting is deeply interpersonal. The value that we see in the youth, which we criticize so much, is just a reflection of what their parents value when they are at home and what the community values when they are in public.
You know, man, we right here with the YNs in Baltimore City, and we just trying to really get to know what's going on with the YNs, right? So right now we got a YN right here, very aggressive, look like he just came out the zoo. Yeah. And then clearly we got some more people coming up behind us. They're all black. Yeah. So first and foremost, why do you have this?
The children are a reflection of what we as a community value. They study us. They look for cues on how to behave and perform accordingly. Research shows that in public, boys are more outwardly masculine. In private, research shows that boys tend to flip a switch in how they perform gender, becoming more fluent in their behavior. This private fluidity of personhood, in my opinion, shows a young boy's natural interest in his whole self. Our children know that there is more to life than what is presented to them. Scared to ask honest questions in a safe environment, our children then go to their rooms and find dark crevices on the internet to explore how they truly feel. The fluidity of personhood that our young boys are genuinely interested in truly experiencing is being hijacked by manosphere scumbags and CIA operatives at the most pivotal point in their childhood development. Social media adds another layer to the communal influences of gender identity, making an already tricky equation even trickier. Not only do our kids lack actual literacy rates, our adults lack social media literacy and overall media literacy in general, and critical thinking skills. Sometimes the people who are having children can't recognize the dog whistles they consume online, the symbolism behind the movies they watch, or the pipelines they are being pushed down. Other people who are having children have the tools to recognize these things, but are fine and content, not caring, and staying ignorant about it so that they can stay in the privilege of that ignorance. And honestly, I think that might be even worse.
The gorilla,
Yeah.
why do people say she pretty? That be ugly as fuck.
You think she ugly?
You said it. Like, yeah, they say she ain't ugly. Niggas be saying she ain't ugly. That bitch ain't nothing.
They be saying she look like Rihanna.
Man, be like goddamn Brianna.
Yeah.
Man, watch out.
Oh, man.
I just put a baby in.
The ignoramuses are creating ignorami offspring, leading them down paths of ignorance, while artificial intelligence created by ignoramuses continue to make us even more ignorant. Maybe y'all don't care about the government's plot to stupefy, depress, and medicate our children with AI partners and fleshlight pussies because you're content with your own stupefied state, already bought your own VR glasses, and pay for an AI VR girlfriend who makes super sloppy swirly sounds while she virtually sucks you off. Or maybe you got an extension clip on that vibrator with 30 different settings. The United States is preparing us to be so mentally and physically sedated that we don't have the will, tools, or knowledge to fight back against the prison and military industrial complex that we also call a 9-to-5. These are the consequences of your social, economic status in the white supremacist capitalistic patriarchy, where the working class creates its own social industrial complex, policing each other into the social expectations of the elites. The people who have sustained, maintained, and controlled the systems we all hate create the standards of the culture and teach us the language to maintain our oppression by simply observing us children who are like sponges absorb our behavior to develop their own imagination, not knowing that what they are absorbing is slowly poisoning them from the inside out. I was a young, black, magical, whimsical girl who at night would swim in the sea with the fish in my room I had manifested there with the power of my own will and imagination. I was delusional, optimistic, outspoken, and confident. My community beat, bullied, harassed, and assaulted all of these attributes out of me and then told me that that was the will of God. My community built into me a functioning state of depression that sometimes turns into debilitating and paralyzing experiences. So scared to live in my own skin, I have developed anxiety, and to cope, I turn to drugs, putting a band-aid on my own issues. This anxiety has now festered into panic attacks in my full adult age, so that when I'm sober, it feels like a Mack truck is sitting on my chest. That is what my remedial black village gave to me in the white supremacist capitalistic patriarchy. That is how the black village lifted me up and raised me. And I'm sure everyone watching has similar experiences. So my question is, when will we choose to do better? I know I'm not perfect and am in a constant state of practice. But honestly, it's embarrassing at this point, watching adults enforce patriarchy, capitalism, and exploitation on each other and then our children. We need to do fucking better. It is that fucking deep, and you do need to be this fucking woke. We could be building community gardens, sustainable and ethical businesses while we boycott exploitive corporations and companies. We could be showing up to town hall meetings, demanding that our local politicians build us some damn parks instead of overpriced apartment complexes. Asking them why they have allowed fried chicken spots to open instead of small mom and pop restaurants that buy local poultry and produce. We could be advocating for our seniors so that they get the damn resources they need that the president is trying to take away from them. We could be allocating mutual aid for families that need their dogs groomed or vet bills paid but can't afford it. We could be collecting mutual aid for high-risk communities that desperately need mental health services and holistic health programs. We could be starting programs for our kids so that they can have afternoon activities instead of playing video games. We could be creating clubs and third places so that we can get the social skills back that we lost during the pandemic. We could be creating clubs and third places so that people could get the social skills back that they lost once we all became addicted to social media. We could be doing community cleanup days where we pick up the damn trash in our communities, in our neighborhoods, and down the damn roads and highways. We could be planting food forests so homeless populations have the opportunity to eat fresh food. The village adults are complacent in their stupidity and content in their oppression. The village adults have no respect or sense of responsibility to their own village. The village adults have no imagination for the future, so they expect everyone to conform to the way things are. The village adults want to be distracted by spectacle sports and waste 7 hours every Saturday and Sunday watching inconsequential games that make them think that they are contributing to society. The village adults perpetuate social policing on each other, shaming others who don't conform to the white supremacist capitalistic patriarchy. They shame people who don't believe in their same religion. They shame people who are religious. They shame people who have their own unique connection with God. They shame atheists who don't need to believe in God to be a good person or live a sound life. They shame people who don't experience life the way the white man says they should. They shame people who dare to be their authentic selves out loud and proudly. On top of all of this, the village adults have no discipline and are unreliable. The village adults are addicted to drugs, alcohol, gambling, unhealthy foods, and habits. The village adults don't care about their own well-being, never mind the well-being of their neighbors. The village adults need fucking help, but they are serial victim blamers and can't even fathom the idea that they too are victims. The village adults put band-aids on their systemic oppression by championing personal responsibility without addressing the root causes of their issues. The village adults have no fucking idea what it means to be on a continual healing journey, nor do a good portion of these village adults even want to start one. But these village adults become parents, and the children become part of a sick, broken village that have no passion or imagination for their own sovereignty.
We say it take a village to raise a child, but what if the village is retarded? What you think it's going to produce?
I hate that our ancestors had to participate in the politics of respectability. I disagree with the politics of professionalism. I love genuine, honest, and free hood rat activities like twerking on the top of a roof of a car or being loud in public.
And why are you jumping out in traffic though?
I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking why. Like, it made no sense. You just wanted to get out of the car and shake your butt?
I don't believe that individual choices can override a system that is meant to kill its spirit. I don't believe that the black community is responsible for its own oppression. I don't believe that black boys are hypersexual deviants that are destined to be outside of liquor stores harassing women, and that our black men are at home beating their wives more than white men do. I also understand that my views come from a place of privilege, and that it's very hard to even think about healing when your basic needs are not met. But Black people have given up on each other because we are all dead inside. The white supremacist capitalistic patriarchy has convinced us to hate ourselves, so therefore we hate each other. My question becomes, when will we create a community behavior that is worth mirroring? And I don't mean a perfected state, I mean a continual state of practice. When will our community address a continual practice of healing, empathy, and acceptance? When will our community address the root of our issues? When will we start the Addicts Anonymous meetings where Black men, women, non-conforming, trans, disabled, and neurodivergent people can come together and say, yeah, I'm addicted to the white supremacist capitalistic patriarchy. There is so much we could be doing. But the village is stupefied, remedial, and damn well